his mother, and that shelter is part of a multi-service agency that works to eradicate homelessness and revitalize the community through supportive care, vital services, and job training. 100 Hometowns is Lowe's initiative to celebrate its centennial year of serving the community through 100 projects across the United States. Follow along with the hashtag Lowe's Home Team. The home team are the Chiefs taking on the Steelers. Jeff Jadea there for us. Jeff?
Thanks, Rich. One of the big questions around Kansas City for the last 4 years has been who's more important to the Chiefs passing game, Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce? May find that out today because Kelce may not be able to play as he's trying to get off the COVID-19 list. Look, this is a huge situation for this team because he's coming around, had a huge game last week against the Chargers with 12 catches, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns. And as Patrick Mahomes says, Kelce has gotten to the point in his career where he doesn't really care about stats. He cares more about winning games. But the Chiefs like what they have in rookie Noah Gray, who's had a good training camp, and they also feel like they can find ways to get things done. As Mahomes said, we know if Travis Kelce has to come in here and play without a week of practice, he will get the job done. And by the way, they've been getting the job done because if they're on a 7-game winning streak for the last 7 weeks.
The Chiefs will miss the playoffs this year.
He fires it late to the back of the end zone. Jones' head down he goes.
A game. The Chiefs are. He broke the fourth. Chiefs are done. Fork trying to tell me something.
Are you kidding me?
Kansas City is rolling. The momentum continues.
Kelce at the 10-5. Touchdown! The Chiefs put the hammer down.
The Chiefs extend their winning streak to 7 in a row.
How about those?
And that 7-game winning streak, as you just saw, was sealed across the street in the Thursday night kickoff week 15. Travis Kelce runs one in the end zone. He was the Yak King that night. Had almost 200 yards receiving that night, and then he comes down with COVID-19. And our colleague Ian Rappaport, during that montage, sent out an email to all of us here and popped on Twitter. A source is telling him Kelce will not play today, that the viral load is still too high for him to be allowed to come off of that list. So, put it all together, you sold on what the Chiefs have done so far, knowing that obviously Kelce will be back soon. Michael?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, not having Travis Kelce today is a huge miss because especially against that Pittsburgh defense and what Travis Kelce does in the middle of the football field can really help the Kansas City Chiefs. But I believe the Chiefs are back to where they were. Now, let me tell you why early in the season, Rich, said I counted them out. I think confidence is the most important thing you can have on a football field. And it's so funny. I always tell people it's like money. So it's hard to get to a great level with it, and then if you ever lose it, it's hard to get it back. But if you ever get it back, you guard it the right way. And the Chiefs, they got it back, and they're guarding it the right way. Chiefs put up 41 points a game the last couple of weeks, so they're back to putting up those 40 burgers that we're used to. And they've gone through the hard times and got here together. And they won using their stars. So they're saying Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, our guys are still our guys. So absolutely. I noticed something, though, even then. The fork broke when I tried to kick the Chiefs out. And then I even pulled my hamstring slinging the sledgehammer. I mean, the guys who kept trying to tell me, no, Michael, don't do it. Don't do it. But, you know, confidence is such a big thing. I went with it anyway.
Okay, understood.
But they got it back.
Appreciate you sounding it all out, the whole thing.
Yeah, I figured it all out.
So the Patriots taking on the Bills in Gillette Stadium today. 3 weeks ago, the Patriots just threw it 3 times, ran it for 222 yards because of the weather. As you can see, it's just your normal partly cloudy 40-degree day in New England.
Get well, Kelce. My brother. Love you.
Feels like December. Cold and windy.
Old school Patriots, Bills. Here we go.
That ball's about 6 rows deep in the stands.
Oh, man.
Hand up. Breida dropped it.
They got it.
He runs through a big hole.
Go, kid.
Damien Harris to the house.
Run on!
That's it.
They don't want tackles. Too cold, too hard.
Matt Judon brings down Allen. The kick is no good. The win took effect.
You stay with the run game.
Run all night.
Throw down the middle, and it's knocked incomplete by Miles Bryant. Mac Jones throwing 3 passes.
They just line up and they want to punch you in the mouth. You ran the hell out of the ball. Big boy win right there.
Got a terrific quote earlier this week from Josh Allen, the Bills quarterback, when talking about this matchup. He said his college coach used to tell him, 2 hungry dogs, 1 piece of meat, it's going to be a fight. And that is absolutely the case for the Buffalo Bills. Still sorely disappointed based on their performance 20 days ago against the Patriots, wanting to prove that last year's division title is not an aberration. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, Devin McCourty summed it up beautifully when he said, look, both of these teams think they're better than the other one and deserve to win. We look at that last game, the Bills are probably saying to themselves, 1 or 2 plays and we win that game. Meanwhile, we realize that's exactly true. Let's play today. It matters. Send it back to you guys.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. So the Patriots with Bill Belichick at the helm. As you could see, that's what they did week 13. Amazing that the Patriots won in week 13 by passing it just 3 times. Then they had a bye. Then they come off the bye and lose to a team that completed just 5 passes. Just crazy stuff. Take it away, gents, about the rematch.
You just never know in this league anymore. Okay, let's talk about how Bill Belichick will attack these Bills as he just played and defeated a little while ago. And it's not so much just Bill, it's Josh McDaniels too, right? The offensive coordinator, Kurt. And when you run the ball 46 times against somebody for over 220 yards, everybody in their dog knows you're running the ball, and they're still successful. So the Pats have got to feel like we can run the ball against this team, especially if we spread it out. That guy right there, Mac Jones, is so good at play-action pass, 79%, 112 passer rating. So I anticipate a more balanced attack, run, play-action pass, but when it's crunch time, they know darn well that they can run. Damian Harris is up. Ramondre Stevenson is out this game, but Damian Harris, he can carry the load. This ought to be pretty good.
And that's really the Achilles heel for this Bills team the last couple of years is running the football. But I'm going to look on the other side, and I say to myself, well, no Cole Beasley in this particular game. You're going to take out their best weapon, right? Bill Belichick is going to say, Stephon Diggs cannot beat us in this game. Last 6 weeks, only 1 receiver has caught for over 50 yards against the Patriots. It was Stephon Diggs in that tough game where they didn't throw it all that much, but that is going to be the key, and it's what Bill Belichick does well.
Yeah, okay, Rich, take it back.
All right, Steve Mariucci, much appreciated. Once again, everybody loves the fact that you're looking like Mr. McDowell from Coming to America.
Minnesota, and say good morning to Tom Pelissero.
Aditi, the Rams can clinch a playoff spot with a win, and they're going to have to overcome yet another COVID issue. Left tackle Andrew Whitworth self-reported symptoms and tested positive on Saturday. His backup also out with COVID, so look for left guard David Edwards to move to left tackle against the Vikings defense that leads the NFL in sacks. Here's Mike Garafolo in Philadelphia.
Tom, like many teams, the Eagles gave their players and coaches off yesterday morning to spend time with family. But when the players finally arrived at the team facility, they were met with a Christmas surprise. Their head coach, Nick Sirianni, back after only 4 days on the COVID-19 list. He was able to participate in walkthrough and lead the team meetings, and he'll be on the sidelines today against the Giants. Now to Ian Rappaport.
Mike, one coach who is not going to be on the sideline, Robert Saleh, the New York Jets head coach. He is home with COVID. His whole family basically has COVID, so he will be watching from his couch today. Ron Middleton is going to take over and be the acting head coach for the Jets against the Jaguars today. Meanwhile, for the Washington football team, they got good COVID news earlier in the week after several weeks of bad COVID news. Taylor Heineke, their starting quarterback, on Thursday cleared COVID protocols, was able to practice a little bit, and will start against the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, so now bad COVID news for the Los Angeles Chargers. They are going to be without several of their key players in the game against the Texans today. Most notably, Austin Eckler tested positive for COVID again yesterday, was not able to come off the list. He is out, and then Mike Williams, their star receiver, who is unvaccinated, he tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday. He is now out 10 days, so going to miss 2 games. And finally, for the Chicago Bears, more quarterback issues there. It's actually going to be Nick Foles as the starting quarterback against the Seahawks. Justin Fields dealing with an ankle, Andy Dalton with a groin injury, Rich.
All right, thanks very much. The Chiefs head